Hi, today I want to talk about the dresses that I got from the James Draper RSVP line from Kohl's. And at the end of it, I'm going to compare it to the one dress I have by Draper James that is not from Kohl's, just to give you an idea, okay? So the first one that I ever got were two dresses, the Gingham one right here and the white one. So I have worn this so much because it's just really easy to wear, and because it just looks loose and then you have this tie, you can just adjust it to your waist. I will say that I do appreciate that it has a lining. I don't know, I like clothes that are like, it feels more proper. And I do like that it's easy to put on and off. My comment with this is I wish it had pockets. Honestly, don't think that it would have changed the silhouette or ruined the silhouette with pockets, and it would have been a great addition. And then at the same time, this one crumples a lot, and I don't know if it's just my washer and dryer, but I don't seem to have that problem with other dresses or brands. So this one ties up. So it's a lot more forgiving when it comes to your shape because you can just adjust it according to your shape. The problem that I find with this is even though it's aligned, it's very thin. So, and it's also very low on me. So I have to wear like a cami underneath it, which it's kind of fun because then I can change the look or the color. You know, if I just want it to be all white, then I get a white cami, and if I want a little pop of color, then I just choose solid or whatever. And because it's solid, I can also do print on my cami. And then because this is absolutely totally open, there was one day that I wore this. I went from church to brunch to doing errands and walking the dog, and it was a windy day. I'm really glad that I actually wore a separate slip because as you can see, even though it's lined, the lining is stitched to the dress. So when this whole thing was blown by the wind, if I weren't wearing a slip, I would have exposed myself. So just to give you a little warning. This one doesn't crumple as badly as the Gingham one, and both of them, forgot to mention that they have these belt loops. With this one, I actually use it because it was just very convenient, especially to line this up with that, to make it work. With the Gingham one, I actually don't really use the loops. I actually tie this over the loop. I have a longer girth than most people, so my dress sizes are usually 0, extra small, juniors 3 maybe, and yet when I get leotards, I always get a medium because of the longer girth. So my point there is, even though this fits me well and everything else, it doesn't always hit my natural waistline. And so it's nice that I can just put this over the loop and not have to use them. The third dress that I got is in navy blue, and I had to size up. My size wasn't available, so I got the next size up, and it fit me perfectly. So let me tell you, this is a little bit more tapered on the hip area, and the cloth, just like the first two, they don't really have a stretch, and more so with this one. So it's also lined, as you can see, and this one you can't just pull this over your head because there's no stretch and it's a little bit more fitted. Thank goodness there's a zipper. My only annoyance with this is I wish the zipper pull wasn't gold because it kind of draws attention to my armpit, which is, if people realize it's just a zipper, who cares? But at the same time, why? So to me, they use an invisible zipper, but the pull is gold, like gold tone, so like why really? Now this one had loops that were as thin as threads or like thick threads. I don't like those. I personally just don't think that works, so I just cut them off and then put this over where my natural waistline is. And I really like this, and when I read the reviews, a lot of them did size up 1 or 2. I would recommend you trying this on at the store, just because there's so many mixed emotions about this, especially if you read the Kohl's reviews. It's just interesting, but I actually really like this dress. That has pockets on both sides, yay! And then also it is lined just like my first 3, and among all 4 dresses, I will say that this is the one that crumples the least for me. So again, I don't know if it's how I wash it, if it's my washing machine or it's my dryer, but that's my experience. This one buttons all the way down to your waist or near your waist, depending. And so this one didn't need a zipper or anything, and then you just tie it or use a different belt. I really like this a lot. I got a lot of compliments. This was probably the dress that got the most compliments out of the 4 that I wore. Just for reference, I will say that the silhouette is very similar, like with the white one, you know, this tie, and that's open. However, this one, even though it's so open, the fabric is a little heavier. Even the lining looks thicker, in my opinion. I don't feel the need to put a slip underneath, because even the wrap, like how wide the fabric is, it wraps further, so if it is windy, it doesn't come up. I will say that. So the Kohl's line, they're really pretty. I think they're very appropriate for so many different things, and they are more affordable than the Draper James online, of course, always something, but the fabric is a little better on the Draper James line online. So I think this one I got on clearance. Sometimes they have clearances, so just watch out for that if you like it.